Mr. President, watch us.
Lord of all creation, justice the worship and defender. May we live in unity, peace and liberty. Plenty be found within the borders
of Kenya. Today, I stand before you with a message that transcends beyond the hashtags and trending topics. It's a message that calls us to reflect on the power we held, the choices we make, and the legacy we will leave for the future generation. Ladies and gentlemen, my theme today is beyond the hashtag, because the true impact of our actions, thoughts, and voices goes beyond what is visible in the screens. In this digital era, we have seen the rise of social movements of hashtags that spark revolutions of the message that spread like wildfire. But let us not be deceived in believing in influence is limited than a tweet, a post, a meme. True influence comes from within, from our hearts, from our minds, and from how we engage with the world beyond the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a time.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm here to address you. You must go. Ruto must.
To question the authority, to stand up for what we believe in. But how we express those views divides us. We have witnessed in our history, both here in Kenya and around the world, how expressions discreet, when not handled with dignity, can lead to tragic outcomes.
Isolate crime from democratic expression and separate criminals from people exercising the freedom of expression and divergent opinion.
Tough. People are struggling. People don't have places to stay. People don't have meals to eat.
Fellow youths of Kenya, the Gen Zs specifically, remember the story of Dedan Kimathi, a leader whose leadership in the Mau Mau uprising was not one of the reckless defiance, but one of the calculated resistance, demanding the dignity and freedom of his people. His actions remind us that the fight for justice requires more than just a loud voice. It requires unity, strategy, and respect for the cause we are championing. As youths of Kenya, we may not always agree with the direction of our country or the leadership of where it's heading, but we must remember that we are future builders of this nation. The Kenyan Constitution, which guarantees our freedom of expression, also calls for responsibility and respect in Article 33 to speak out our minds. But Article 29 ensures that we are free from unlawful abductions and cruel treatment. In the face of injustice, we must stand strong, but we must also ensure that our actions do not lead to greater harm, especially to ourselves and those around us. Let us look to the legacy of Kwame Nkrumah, a visionary leader who called for a united Africa. His belief that the independence of our nation is meaningless unless it's linked with the total liberation of the continent. It urges us to think beyond our individual concerns. They act in the interest of our collective good. My fellow colleagues and youths, all the activists, Nkrumah showed us that the true change does not come from division, but for collaboration and respect. In recent times, we have seen incidences where the youth have been subjected to abduction and mistreatment for exercising their right for freedom of expression. While we must never tolerate such injustice, we must also recognize that our actions have consequences. When we use technology to disrespect leadership and express dissatisfaction, we must ask ourselves, are we contributing to a constructive dialogue, or we are amplifying divisions? Let us think beyond the hashtags. We are the generation of creators, builders, and change makers. Yeah, the world is watching us, and we must rise to the occasion. Look at the example of Georgia Stingy Jr., who was wrongfully executed as a young boy in America, a victim of a systematic injustice. His story reminds us of the importance of fighting for fairness and dignity in all situations. In the year 2017, we lost baby Pendo. We have lost a lot of young people in our country because of fighting for the injustice. We have the corridors of power. We have the corridors of justice. The young people have failed on the streets from the bullets, and that is a case of what we are speaking today. Our fight for justice should not be rooted in respect for the rule of law, in peaceful resistance, in education. Let us not fall into trap of using offensive images like the distorted portrayal of leadership or engaging in reckless acts that only deepen divides. Instead, let us channel our energy into beyond the hashtag, into our actions that inspire and change, foster dialogue, and create solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, our country does not need fights. Our country does not need chest thumping. Our country needs the intellectuality, form, and soberness of our leaders. Our leaders are not the people who are sitting in the offices, but they are people who can see the atrocities and condemn them with the loudest possible voice. Ladies and gentlemen, my colleague, leaders, youth ambassadors, the activism of our country needs soberness. And that's why today I'm expressing this message of concern to all the young people outside there. Wherever the thing you do with your life, make it count. A true form of measurement of a man is a way you express your magnitude of anger, your magnitude of strength, how you express your flaws and ensure it counts on anything you do. If you have to condemn the authorities, if you have to express and give credit to the leadership, if you have to fight for the climate change in our country, if you have to fight for the new university fundings, if you have to fight for the shisha issues, if you have to fight for the corruption in our country and poor leadership, poor legislation, poor form of a judiciary of engagement in judicial justice, then let's do it. We will meet in the Beyond the Hashtag Diaries. We will express our anger. But are we bringing unity? Are we bringing a concern of engaging everyone so that we can talk one voice as a nation? Remember, a nation is built. A nation is created. In any case, maybe in other planets. But what we know is only us that we can express it, we can engage it, and we can build it. It's yours, Youth Ambassador Kenya, Benjamin Kecheboson, and until then, we meet on the Beyond the Hashtag Diaries, where we can talk more and express more. Thank you so much. May God bless you. May God bless our great nation.
Niko njaa hata siwezi karanga, uwe hai shagala bagala, niko tayari kulipa gharama, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala. Ufisadi, ubinafsi, ukabila, kuuza sura, wataki kuuza sera. Undugu ni kufaana, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala, sitasimama maovu ya kitawala. kuget wadhifa una deserve bila cash ama kashfa. Hii society Kenya wanaeza share ni nyungu ya busa ama ketol ya shisha, mfuko zinasikia echo. Unajua thamani ya mali na size ya kifuli eyo, ujaibiwa juu hauna kakitu worth, risking jail time, police bullet for. Unaweza argue crime doesn't pay, lakini huwezi dismiss justice.